There's nothing more frustrating than when it seems like you're doing everything right, but not seeing the results for your hard work. You're plugging away on the cardio machine, you're eating healthy and keeping your calories in check, you're taking all the supplements your favorite influencer recommends, but nothing's happening. What gives? Well, today I'm gonna give you 5 tips that actually work and will help you start seeing better results and avoid those pesky weight loss plateaus. Hey, this is Colin DeWaay. If you want to go from overweight, exhausted, and terrified of eating the foods you love to in great shape, full of energy, and enjoying foods you love at the same time, then make sure you hit subscribe and click on that bell notification and I'll help you finally get there. So the first thing you can do, and arguably the best thing you can do to start seeing better fat loss, is to make sure you strength train and you're training hard. I don't care if you want a lot of muscle or not. Trust me, this is not going to happen by accident. And if you're just chasing a number and doing tons of cardio and expecting to get the best results, you're probably going to be sorely disappointed. Cardio can help and something you should include, but it shouldn't be your only mode of exercise, and you can definitely overdo it. Your body actually adapts relatively quickly to cardio, and research has shown that you actually lose about 10 to 20% of the amount of calories you typically burn from cardio once your body gets used to doing it. And strength training and working on building muscle is going to put your metabolism on fire. It's basically the only way you can actually increase your metabolism past its genetic potential is by adding more muscle. Not only does adding more muscle increase your metabolism, but yes, you burn some calories from the exercise itself, maybe not as much as cardio, but still a good amount. But the big benefit is you also get what's called EPOC, which stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. And basically your body continues to burn extra calories for the next up to 48 hours as it's trying to recover from the stimulus you give it. And this is a big reason why it's one of the best things you can do for fat loss. Remember, weight loss and fat loss aren't the same thing. Don't get too tied to that number on the scale. You're not looking to change a number, you're looking to change your body. So make sure you're training hard. If that weight is never even slowing down, you're not getting anywhere near enough out of that training to force your body to change. Make those ugly faces, and those last couple reps should be hard. You can leave 1 or 2 in the tank and see results. The problem is what you think 1 or 2 in the tank is probably much less than what 1 of the 2 in the tank actually is. So it's good to occasionally take a lift to actual failure and just see what it looks like, and see what 3 reps in the tank, and then 2 reps in the tank, and then 1 rep in the tank, and then 0 reps, and then you've failed. So I would do this on the last set. Don't catch yourself in the first set. So just occasionally do this and video it so you can see, because most people are capable of doing much more than they think. Now, another key component to this is making sure you build your metabolism first before going into a fat loss phase. If your metabolism is trash from years of yo-yo dieting, you're in no position to be able to lose fat at this point. You need to give your body a reason to let its guard down and stop guarding against this fat loss as sort of a survival instinct to guard against starvation. Take the time now to go through what's called a reverse diet to gradually increase your calories. Remember, your body likes homeostasis. It wants to stay the same. So when you bring your calories down and you start losing weight, your body doesn't like this. It wants you to gain that weight back. It sends many signals hormonally, also psychologically on top of it, that makes it really difficult to stick with the plan and keep seeing results. So if you eat less calories, your metabolism slows down. If you eat more calories, your metabolism speeds up. But you can't just eat however much you want, because then you're going to gain much more body fat. By gradually increasing your calories, maybe around 50 calories a week. This way, you're going to help minimize the fat gain and put your body back into a position where you can finally start seeing success. So you see, a big theme of this video is going to be protecting your metabolism at all costs. So when you do start a fat loss phase, you don't want to drop your calories too low. You need to drop them enough to elicit a response, so you can't just gradually decrease your calories. Otherwise, you basically reverse diet in reverse, and now your metabolism slows down with no change in body fat. But you want to drop maybe around 15 to 20% from your maintenance calories, maybe 25%, and then keep your protein high, eating around 1 gram per pound of maybe a goal weight, but more is certainly fine. Protein is just super helpful because it's what actually builds the muscle that we already know how important that is. It also helps you feel full. It actually burns way more calories than any other food, with the thermic effect of food being high. So a high protein diet is extremely beneficial for fat loss. You also want to be taking diet breaks relatively frequently to help keep your metabolism in a good place. So if you don't know what a diet break is, it's where you increase your calories up to around maintenance or so, and once again allow your body to let its guard down a little bit and keep your metabolism in a good place. This is the very thing that's going to allow you to be able to keep eating more calories and keep seeing results long term, instead of just constantly dieting until your metabolism gets run into the ground and you can't see progress anymore. So if you do this every 3 or 4 to maybe 6 weeks and then I do recommend a 2-week diet break, I find that people respond much better with 2 weeks versus just 1. This will keep the process working better for longer. And I also think it's good to occasionally take a longer one, take like a month-long diet break and just allow your body to get this recuperation it needs and allow you to keep seeing results long term. This is something I almost did basically by accident back in 2015. I went from 210 pounds down to 178 pounds. And at the time I was a power lifter. If I was doing a meet, I would do a month around maintenance, not to help with metabolism. At that point, we didn't really even know about diet breaks. I just figured I would perform better if I wasn't in a calorie deficit. So I would do that month going into the meet around maintenance, perform, then come back, go back into the diet. But the point is, while it may seem like this is making fat loss take longer, and the point of this video is lose fat faster, you have to look at it as a big picture thing. Would you rather lose 20 pounds in 2 months and then lose no more because you're stuck? Or would you rather lose 50 pounds in a year and get where you want to be? Now, one of the most underrated things you can do to help with fat loss is to go for frequent walks. Get those steps up. Walking is so helpful. And a lot of people feel like it's a waste because you're not going hard and you're not sweating like crazy and just beating yourself up. But the problem with beating yourself up all the time is you can't recover from that. As a coach, I'm telling you, when I see clients who struggle versus clients who do well, there's a pretty strong correlation between those who only get maybe 2,000 steps a day versus those who get 8 to 10,000 or more a day. So go for a half hour to an hour walk every day, or at least most days, and it can make a big difference without running you so hard into the ground. Tip number 5 is about sleep. It makes a huge difference both from mental and physiological standpoints. I mean, think about every time you've ever been really mentally struggling, feeling tired, cranky, lacking willpower. These probably always happen when you're really tired and not getting enough sleep. Even on top of that, there was actually a research where they compared groups that had 8.5 hours of sleep a night to 5.5 hours of sleep a night. And at the end of the study, the group that slept more lost much more body fat, retained more lean body mass, and also had less hunger. So with all these benefits, not to mention it helps with stress control, which stress is another one that can make a bigger difference than you think. And stress, much like sleep, since it increases your cortisol, can actually have a fat loss blunting effect. So controlling your sleep and stress will help you on your way to losing fat faster. Now, with all that being said, I mentioned that you don't want to overdo cardio, and it's not the greatest form of exercise for fat loss, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do any, and there isn't a benefit to doing cardio. In fact, you're probably going to need to do some, but how much cardio should you do, especially if you're looking to lose belly fat? Well, if you want the answer to that, if you check out this top video next, I'll give you that answer. Otherwise, I think you'll like this bottom video instead, and I'll see you in one of those other videos.